Hello and welcome back to Civilized Swarm. Today I'm going to be going over a potential ban list that has been leaked. The guy is quite credible. He was the person who leaked the two last formats ban lists, so could be fairly accurate and possibly completely accurate. Starting off with the bans. First off is Gateway of the Six Samurai. I don't think anyone will be particularly surprised to see this. Everyone thought it was a bit too strong. I mean, if this comes out first turn, there's not going to be much to stop the Samurai player from winning. Moving on is Ultimate Offering. I think this is very strong. Can be used in so many OTKs, and I think that's why it's being banned. Next is Limited. Rescue Rabbit. No surprises there, really. It's just such a ridiculously good card. Its Dino Rabbits have still been going strong, and it's been smashed into Fire Fists, and Evil Swarms. So I think they've just decided to put this down to one, really take out some of the power from that deck. So I think it still will be run. Probably in Evil Swarms, maybe not Fire Fists, who knows. Next is Deep Sea Diva. Mermails needed a little hit. They were really quite strong. I don't think Deep Sea Diva was particularly the right way to go about it. I mean, most Mermail decks only ran it at 2, as it was, so I don't think Diva will have that much of an effect on Mermails. Tour Guide also being limited, I think that's pretty much a good idea. I mean, it's such a good card. Instant rank 3 XC. Yeah, there's not much more to say about that. At 2, it was a bit ridiculous just because people included Sangan and Night Assailant just to get the 2 Tour Guides out, rather than having to summon the second Tour Guide with the first Tour Guide. Wind-Up Factory. Well, I don't think this needs much explaining. Wind-Ups are too strong. They needed a hit. This will slow down the deck a bit. Drag Down into the Grave. I'm a little bit surprised at this. I mean, any card that lets you look at your opponent's hand is quite strong, so I can see why they've limited it. But it'll change Dark Worlds a lot. I don't know how it's going to go after this. Solemn Warning. I don't think this is too much of a surprise. I mean, and I think Solemn Warning, it'll make the format a bit faster. You'll have to be more careful when you're warning, but otherwise I don't think it'll be that much of a change. Now the big shocker, Yugioh Guardian. This card is broke. I don't think there is any reason why it should be off the ban list. I mean, well, on the limited list. I think this thing should be banned, and for this reason I hope that this is a fake ban list, or not completely accurate ban list, because I think Yugioh Guardian would be a bit ridiculous. Semi-limited Chaos Sorcerer. I'm a bit surprised to see that. I think Chaos Dragons could become a bit too strong with 2 Chaos Sorcerers and Blackluster Soldier, but we'll have to see. They have been not as good lately. Yeah. Wind-Up Magician. Yeah. Just hitting Wind-Up Factory I don't think would have been enough. Magician to 2 will slow down their plays a bit, and I don't think that they won't be able to get out as many Ixies, possibly, so it'll make the OTKs less powerful. Plague Spreader Zombie. I think zombies needed something, just because they'd been hit a bit too hard. Plague Spreader Zombie is a good way to go around this. I think Mizuki also could have been viable to put back to 2. And if Yugioh Guardian isn't going to be in the format, then zombies will be able to summon him so easily with 2 Plague Spreader Zombies. You can search him to hand with Goblin Zombie, summon him from your hand with the Zombie Master, or you can just normal summon any level 4 and special summon him from your graveyard very easily. Next is Lone Fire Blossom. I think plants got hit too hard. I think this should bring back some of their power. I don't know that much about plant decks, but I think hopefully we shall see a few more plant decks doing well. Mystical Space Typhoon. A few people have been saying this. I don't think it'll affect the format that much. I mean, there's still so many great cards like Night Beam, Dust Tornado, Twister, Wild Tornado, that kind of thing. Tenki. I think Fire Fists have been a bit too strong recently. I mean, they've been topping almost every regionals since they were released. So this should helpfully reduce their power. Next is Book of Moon. I don't think this will change too much. It might help bring back Empty Jar, but I don't think so. I think Book of Moon at 2 is fine. And I don't think that many decks will actually use it at 2. Quite a few decks use it at 1 as it is, so I don't think it'll be that big of a deal. Next is Legendary 6 Samurai Shien. I think this is just too much power to the 6 Samurais. Having this at 2 means that if they can get 2 out first go, there is very little you can do about it. Most decks use spells and traps to help summon their monsters, so I think unless you're playing something like Mermails, I don't think you're going to be able to do much against a first turn 2 Shiens opening. So I think Samurais could become very strong this format, especially if we go on to Unlimited. There is Shien's Smoke Signal being unlimited, so Samurais will be very strong. Also, there is Scapegoat. I don't think that's too bad for the format. It'll be okay. Scapegoat, it won't stall too much. I mean, it'll only be really used in burn decks, I think, and I don't think it's that big of a deal. I don't think many people will run it at 3. Tsukiyomi, I think that card was vastly overrated when it first came out. Nobody's really been using it, and I don't think it will ever really be used. I can't see any decks, apart from possibly Empty Jar, but then I don't think it'll be that great in Empty Jar either. Lumina, the Light Sworn Summoner. Light Sworns have not been doing amazingly recently. I think this will help them get back in. I quite like Light Swarm, so I think this would be good for them. Yeah. And finally, Blackwing Kalute the Moonshadow. I don't know too much about Blackwings, but they have been out of the format for quite a bit. And I think they took too much from the Blackwings, and I think bringing back some of the Blackwings now is quite a good idea. Right, that is it. Thanks for listening. Please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. What do you think of this ban list? Do you think Yugioh Guardian is good, or do you think it's a bit ridiculous like me? Personally, I am hoping this is not the correct ban list, just because Yugioh is so strong. Right, thanks for listening. See you next time.